Hey guys, if you love Always Open and me and Meryl, which I hope you do, and if you're in town in Austin on March 15th for South by Southwest, we're going to be hosting an awesome event with Bumble. Let me tell you about it. We have an event with Bumble called the Bumble Hive. It's at Joe's Coffee on 242 West 2nd Street on March 15th. For women in gaming, there's conversations and live gameplay. It's from 3 to 6:30 p.m. We'll have a live episode of Always Open, as well as a Women in Gaming panel and a special rendition of Game Time with Ashley and Bernie. So come check it out. It's open to the public. You don't have to have a badge or any tickets. Get free coffee when you show your Bumble app as well. So we hope to see you there.
When you die, because you will.
Thank you.
Those who are still living, their lives will go on. They'll be fine, ultimately.
And that's what you needed to hear, Barbara.
Beautiful.
Well, that's a good
Theme
theme
Is
song.
that new?
Yeah.
Wow!
You wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't even know it.
fresh.
You wouldn't know. Welcome everyone to a brand new season of Always Open. We missed you so much. We have a brand new theme song, as you just heard. We have a new set, and we have not a new Barbara. I'm Barbara Dunkelman, but we have some new guests with us who have never been on the show before, who are internet royalty.
Ooh.
Some of my favorite creators.
Some might say internet daddies.
internet
Oh.
daddies.
Internet daddies.
Who we got with us?
Me, I'm Link. And to my
And
right,
me, I'm Rhett. Together, we're Rhett and Link. We have a channel called Good Mythical
good morning.
Wow, you
I got in
right
on
off
that.
the bat.
Yeah. Love the new theme song. Love the new set. It's very diner.
Yeah.
It's
very,
Is
like,
that what you were going for?
Sunshine
Yes.
Diner.
Good.
Sunshine Diner.
Right. It's a great place to just
Very nervous.
spiel your emotions. Just spiel them.
Yep, that's what we do.
Spiel.
Why are you nervous?
Because I always have to follow up the guests.
It's
and it's
true.
a bad spot to be in.
You about to introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah.
I have to introduce
Do that.
myself.
Sorry.
Hey, I'm back. It's me, your friendly mythical Mariel.
Mythical.
Oh.
That's a good little tie in there.
Yeah,
Ariel.
that works well.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Oh.
I feel like we should all be mythical today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you guys are mythical.
Make your day
Barbara.
mythical. Yep.
Centarbara.
I emailed.
Oh, we're going that far. Okay.
I emailed our equipment director because we shot some stuff with you guys earlier today, so I was making sure we had the proper equipment to it for it. And I said, hey guys, or I said, hey Hector, we're gonna have the guys from Good Mythical Morning on. Can I get this equipment? And he said, I thought that's how you were greeting me. He was like, I thought you were just saying Good Mythical Morning, get me this list of equipment. And I was like, yes, also that, but can you? This is the name of the show.
And how did
love
he
to
respond
know.
to that? Was that a good thing, or did he feel threatened?
No, he liked it. He's like, oh, well, good mythical morning to you too.
You realize that you have to greet them like that.
Oh, yeah,
every
every
time
time.
from now
Every
on.
time.
Middle of the night. Good mythical morning.
I like to know that that's going to be happening permanently here.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
because of you guys.
That was the stipulation in the contract.
Yep.
An appearance on this podcast means that everyone at Rooster Teeth from now on has to say Good Mythical Morning
Yeah, it's like-
when they come in the building.
Just remember, I hear people whispering, just remember, always greet them with good mythical. Also, don't make direct eye contact.
Right.
We already have that rule in place.
And don't be weirded out when they only speak by holding up one hand on the side of their face.
You know, I've done this so often
they
before
do.
when I tell secrets like that. I do the wrong thing where if I'm telling you a secret, I'll be like
You'll
this.
do it like this?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Well, my
You gotta
mom.
form a complete tunnel if you don't know what's up.
Okay.
Form a
no,
complete
no,
tunnel.
Oh, please.
My mom has a tendency to to lean over in all kinds of social situations and tell you something that's not a secret, but make it seem like a secret. To be like, I like your shirt. I'm like, Mom, you look like you're gossiping and you're just complimenting me.
But if it is a compliment every time, I would love that. Give me a secret compliment.
No, it'd be something like, where do you want to go to lunch after this? I'm like, Mom, just
Maybe
ask.
she's ashamed of hanging out with
lean
you.
over.
She doesn't want people
Like,
to-
what is the deal?
Maybe she's ashamed of you.
It makes you feel
Thanks for
important.
making me think of it that way.
When I get whispered to, I feel very important.
Oh, cool.
Like that's the thing. Like That's my love language, being whispered to.
Oh yeah,
ever
do
had
you love
public?
ASMR? Oh, in public.
I love ASMR.
Maybe.
Have you guys ever done ASMR on this show?
No.
Yeah, we do
That
have
would
a
be
head we
first.
could use.
You'd increase your viewers.
Or decrease
Well,
significantly.
you'd get you'd get a new demo. Get a whole new demo.
We're just gonna take this shot. There's a little piece of shit floating in it.
Does this happen now?
It does. Well,
You've
that's
got
how we started the show.
You've got branded shot glasses.
We do. Available in the Rooster store.
Are those
I
new
believe.
as well?
Unfortunately, they're not.
No.
Actually,
This
are
is
they
our-
still in the store?
I
don't
think
know
this
if
is
they're
the
in
first
store anymore.
piece of merchandise that we had
We
from
did.
the show.
It only took us 3 seasons to
So this is a shot submitted by Noah M, and it's called the Tootsie Roll, and it's got chocolate vodka, amaretto liqueur.
Liqueur.
I can never say this word. Liqueur. Liqueur.
Just like
and
liquor.
a splash of chocolate syrup, which has solidified at the bottom of the glass.
Yeah.
And it looks like a tiny little piece of shit.
Yeah, it's like a worm. It's like
Yeah.
a turd. It's like a turd from a worm.
It actually looks like the little
It's like if you ate a worm and then
baby
made it
mice
into
that
a
my
turd.
son feeds his snake,
I was gonna say it looks very fetal-like.
which I've made.
Oh God.
I know.
And
Enjoy
listen,
that.
he
Enjoy
got
that.
a snake, and there's a whole bag full of frozen mice in the freezer now. And I was like, boy, you got to learn how to touch these mice.
Oh.
If this is your snake, you got to
What are
learn
you
how to
talking-
touch them.
Is this your?
This
your
is my son.
Oh wow.
This is my boy. He's got to touch them dead mice.
Stop talking about dead mice. It's not a good look for our brand.
Hey, but
I'm gonna have to tunnel talk you.
you want me to have a vegan snake?
Hey, get in the tunnel.
You want me to have a vegan
I
snake?
want you to shut up.
You can't have vegan snakes.
Well, you can't
try to
have
feed a snake
this
a
in
bean.
shot.
It
Cheers,
won't eat
guys. We're doing this together, whether we like it or not. Cheers. Thanks for being on this show.
Tootsie Roll.
Okay. That.
It didn't go anywhere.
The turd lives on. The turd abides.
I think you gotta
Turdifies.
stick your tongue in there.
Hey, do I need to get in the tunnel again? Do not stick your tongue down on the worm.
Okay. It's not a worm.
Oh gosh, you know what's gonna be great to chase that with?
Coffee.
Coffee. It's actually
That's pretty nice.
Pretty bad.
that would have been
pretty
good in the
bad.
coffee.
We've had some pretty terrible shots.
We
We've
did
had
one
some really
yeah.
great shots.
We did one a while back that I don't know. We all loved, and we had our friend Jessica Negri on the show.
Love her.
One of my favorite people in the world. And for some reason, she was like appalled by it.
It's almost like she had an allergic reaction to it.
yeah, she was just like, and we're all like, tasty.
Yeah, it takes a lot to make me do that. It just happens every single day on our show somehow. I don't.
You guys eat a lot of gross stuff.
Yeah.
It says Internet Daddy's behind your head.
Sure does.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I just saw it on camera.
That's part of our new set. We got a chalkboard where we put all the subjects.
I think that's permanent.
Who did that? Who's got that kind of penmanship?
Me and Meryl.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
You don't believe us?
Chalksmanship.
We actually have a designer in our design team named John Benson, who is a master typography, and he actually came and did that for us today.
He like reached out to us and he was like, hey, if you ever want me to do the board, and we said yes, please. And then he
Yeah.
came and did this in like 30 minutes,
Something
45
like
minutes.
that, yeah.
John Benson. I need him to make me some signs.
I think he should be here instead of us.
I
Good
would
one.
agree.
I want to
You
hear.
know what, John Benson, come on
Come
out.
on out.
Hey, you would agree.
Please
That
say.
was not the correct response, by the way. Miss Pro Host.
My
I'd agree. I don't want you here.
my method is to
feelings are
just
hurt.
shit on the people, especially if
Okay,
they're
yeah.
sitting right next to me.
Well, you
It's a power
missed.
trip.
I'm safe. I'm safe.
All right, well, let's start off with a little segment we call Cupidity. So what we've done for this is we've taken questions from the popular dating site OkCupid.
Okay, that still exists?
It does, and so when you're creating your dating profile, it takes you through all these questions that you have to answer while
Okay.
you're creating your profile. And so we've just gathered a bunch of them, and we're going to ask them to you one by one.
Okay.
And we do have a timer, just to kind of make
Oh,
you go a
God.
little
I'm really
quicker.
bad at these rapid fire questions.
I
don't think
you're-
anyone
you're
is-
gonna knock it out of the park.
No one's bad or good at this, really.
Okay.
But
All
you,
right.
you-
We're so southern, we can't go
But
fast.
you know what? I'm great at filling out dating profiles as a man who's been married for 18 years
There you go.
and got engaged before online dating was not just weird.
yeah,
I am really good at this.
perfect.
All right.
You're the perfect contestant for this. All right, Link, would you like to go first?
No.
Perfect. We're good to go?
Yeah.
All right,
Do it.
and go. Have you ever quit a job without giving at least a week's notice?
No.
On a daily basis, do you spend a lot of time trying to make yourself look good?
Oh, yes.
Does the idea of flipping a coin to make an important life decision appeal to you?
Yes.
Do you consider yourself photogenic?
Yeah.
Have you ever taken free furniture somebody else left at the side of the road for use in your home?
I can't remember, but I'm sure I have.
Okay. There's no shame in that. Did you wash it first?
I'm not feeling shame.
Oh, good.
I'm pretty
just-
sure we did do that at some point in college.
I mean, isn't that what gets you into college?
Yeah.
Stealing? Or taking, I guess it's not stealing if it's
Was
not.
that bell a right answer?
That,
Yes.
I only got one
You
right.
got
Yeah,
one
it's
right,
only
and it was
one
actually
right.
while she was
Okay, good.
asking a question.
Yeah.
So the only
So
thing
I
that
was
happened
right.
was
Okay.
Barbara asked a question.
No,
Sorry,
it's just
I failed.
our useless timer that we have.
we keep it. We keep it.
I
for
like it.
stuff,
I like the
sake,
added
honestly.
pressure.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're just yes or no questions. That's
Most of the
There's
time.
some that get
oh,
real
gosh.
weird.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't have that cousin question.
Yeah, the cousin question comes up.
You don't want to know.
You probably.
So
can
you're going to
assume-
answer for me, because I was answering for you.
No, that's not what I understood.
Oh.
So I'll answer for me.
All right, Rhett, would you like to go next?
Yes.
You
Is
don't
that
have
the first
choice.
question?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
You passed. All right, and go. Would you rather live in a big city or a small town?
Big city boy.
Do you dream of traveling the world or are you happy where you are?
Oh, I want to travel.
Do you have faith in humanity?
No.
Would you do something outrageous, stupid, or adventurous simply because it would make a good story to tell later?
Yeah, that's pretty much my life.
Know that game. Do you feel a need to own the most up-to-date electronic gadgets?
Yes.
Perfect timing. Look at that.
Can't you tell by my
Okay.
2012 Apple?
Did that really come out in 2012?
I don't know when. I mean, this isn't. It's not the most recent one. You got the most recent
No,
one?
I got the series one. I'm
Oh,
old school.
at least I got two.
I keep my watch in my pocket because it's not a sponsor. I'm waiting for a sponsor to throw it on the wrist.
You should.
Y'all need to get up with the program.
A lot of watch sponsors out there. So big city boys, both of you? You guys are in LA.
We grew up in a small town, then moved to a big city. And you know what? My personal opinion is that it's best to grow up in a small town and then be an adult in a big city.
Yes.
I
Agree
think
with that.
I think that's. Of course, we're raising our children in Los Angeles, and they're going to be reprobates. But I didn't have any choice about that.
What's wrong with the opposite?
Starting in a big city and going to a small town.
That is the opposite.
I think that you've become too dependent on the conveniences. Like, think about being out there in a
asphalt.
cabin somewhere and then like looking at your Postmates app.
Every time I look down, I'm on asphalt.
Yeah.
It's so convenient.
But I do think
a helicopter could land anywhere.
you do need to
Can't do
kind
that
of
in a
you need to
pasture.
switch it up. You don't need to be in one place all your life.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And I don't think you should
Everglades?
be.
You ever tried to land a helicopter in the Everglades?
Can't say I have.
Yeah. Well, actually,
Don't.
Have you?
Nope.
Well, you turn a fan boat sideways and it technically is a helicopter.
Ooh.
I actually think
Or forward.
I'd prefer to be raised in a big town because you get
But not a big city, just a big town.
a big city because you get exposure to more types of people, more cultures.
That's true.
And I think that's really important for people growing up. Is to
I
get
think
that
it's
exposure.
important to grow up closed-minded and then have it open as an adult.
You have this bitter phase that a lot can come from that.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good to have that happen in adulthood because it feels like a second puberty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had the same
And if I need
experience.
anything, it's
Yeah.
more pubes.
Meryl grew
What?
up in a small
I grew up on a dairy farm.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right. Milked cows.
Did you ever milk the cow directly into your mouth?
100% every time.
Yeah.
Every time?
We've,
failed.
we've both done that.
Why do you think I'm so tall?
Yeah, we're not trying to make this about us, though. Tell us more about your dairy farm.
Well, hold on, but that's why you asked the question.
It is, but then I felt sorry for myself for seeming like I'm glomming on to the attention. Was this a professional dairy farm?
It's about 4,000 head cows.
What?
I don't
Yeah.
know what that means.
4,000 head.
cows.
Yeah.
4,000
Every,
cows?
every cow
4,000
has a
cows.
head.
Every cow has a head.
So that's a great way to count them.
There are,
about-
sometimes they're born with two.
What if
About
there's you?
16,300
feet.
udders.
Yep.
Oh my God,
Hold
that's
on.
utterly.
You're saying that
insane.
every
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 18th
1,000th
cow
cow
has a
has
fifth
a-
udder. And I did the math.
Whoa.
Yep.
okay, I
I didn't realize you guys were smart as well.
So you do it, I mean, it's a factory. I mean, you're not sitting there squish, 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 squish,
We
squish.
had a carousel. It was like a little
That sounds
merry-go-round
fun.
for cows. They hop on, they go a little trip for like 2 rounds, and then they hop off.
Yeah, but you put that thing on it and it
Does it make
does
that
it
sound?
itself.
It
Could
noogies
we
itself.
get a soundbite of that? Noogie doogie doo.
Noogie, 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 noogie.
Yep.
Oh, that's unpleasant.
We'll incorporate that into our next theme song that we do.
Okay.
That'd be perfect.
New one every episode.
I didn't realize you had 4,000 cows.
4,000, yeah. Not anymore.
So you don't want
coffee
to
people.
You don't want to go back to the dairy farm.
No, I go and visit. My parents, they sold the farm. They don't do farming anymore.
Is that a euphemism for something?
No,
They're out of the farming
They're out of the farming game.
They now make
No more
meth.
cows. Yeah, they're into making meth. No,
How's their teeth?
Coffee. They do coffee now.
Oh, really?
How's
So
their teeth?
brown.
Brown. Yep.
On the same property?
No, they moved into town.
Right. You can't do cows where you do coffee.
There's no one out there.
I think it's
It's just the
sacrilegious.
I mean, you'll have all the creamer you ever need.
That's true.
So chew on that one.
Nugga, 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 nugga.
All right, Meryl, you're up next.
I'm not ready.
And a go. Does the idea of being attractive enough to manipulate people appeal to you?
Oh, of course.
When you are alone, how often do your own actions make you laugh?
That's a good
Pretty
one.
often. I spend a lot of time alone.
Would you like to serve as a juror in a murder trial?
100% yes.
Me too. How ticklish are you?
Pretty ticklish, yes.
Would you develop a new hobby / cultivate a new interest just to have something in common with your partner?
Possibly. Yeah.
Oh.
We need a yes or no.
Yes.
Okay.
Wrong? Was it a wrong answer?
We should get a buzzer also for the end of
Darn.
that, just every now and then to mess someone up.
We should just give it to Peyton. He can just.
Yeah.
whenever he
Don't
feels
please
like
don't do it for me.
So at this point, people start dating us on the internet. I don't know what happens next.
So the way this works is you answer all these questions. Some AI figures out who's compatible, and is the AI based on compatibility or is it based on opposites attract?
I think
Like, what's the-
Christian, you filled out all of
What's the
your questions,
latest
you know?
dating situation?
He just gave us a thumbs up.
compatibility.
So you answer the questions and then you rank like what answers you like, and then it will match you based on others.
Oh, interesting.
See, I just don't think people have that much insight about themselves and other people to make decisions about what they're going to like based on answers to that question. I think we need to submit the answers to AI. It's like that Black Mirror episode, basically.
Yeah.
And that's how you figure out who you're compatible with, because it also changes over time. They say that you get with somebody who is opposites attract when you're younger, but when you get older, you want somebody who's much like you.
How long have you been married?
18 years. And
What's your wife say about this?
No, you become more like each other. That's how you adopt hobbies that you don't like because you want to stay
You
together.
start to look the same, too.
Yeah, that is a scientifically proven fact.
I know you start to dress alike. Does that happen to you guys and your significant others?
Yes, there was one day when we were wearing the same outfit. We were literally in the same outfit.
Oh wow. Like
Pretty kinky.
like both. I've heard that happens over time. People start to dress like each other. I don't know about looking like each other.
No, people do.
My wife and I wear diapers on the weekend and nothing else.
Oh gosh.
Well, then, yeah, it's pretty easy to match. When
It's like extreme Netflix and chill. And you're diapering up.
You just don't move from the couch.
Right.
All day. You're good to go.
you never
Yeah.
move.
Do you also have one of those like helmets with the straws and the beers here? What are they? Beer helmet?
Oh, the
Beer muffs.
beer. Yeah?
Beer goggles.
No.
The beer helmet.
Why can't I
Eric,
think-
what are those called?
Beer helmet.
Yeah, you're fine. Beer helmets, right?
Beer helmet.
Yeah.
Is that the name for it?
Beer hat.
I think beer helmet. Everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, I guess that's the important.
Did you ever? You were talking about compatibility.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Third time's a charm.
fifth grade, we had this ginger ale. This really fucked me up. I remember they sold us compatibility tests in the fifth grade, and you would fill out like a little bubble sheet, and then they would tell you like who you were compatible with.
fifth
In
grade?
fifth grade, you got a friends list, and then you got a dating list.
Hold on. People in your class?
Yes.
Was this curriculum?
It was West Texas, so yeah.
Wow.
Try to.
Then what was the application?
I mean, you did what you wanted with the information.
It was just like for funsies?
Yeah, it was fun, but you had to pay to do it. And I remember it being like a fundraiser.
You had to pay.
It was a student council raising funds, and they said, we're going to do a
Oh,
compatibility
gosh.
for these 11-year-olds.
Oh, that's.
I actually think I fucking did that.
Probably.
Not in the fifth grade though. I think in like the 10th grade.
Oh.
That makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But
in-
who's making these decisions?
in
Who's
West
like pairing
Texas,
people
you
up?
start-
Oh, the
Yeah.
principal.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Paying a school organization to aid and abet in the hooking up of the students seems very right to me.
Yep.
I agree.
Okay.
Mary.
I'm not
Is this an
going to.
ethics show?
It sometimes is.
Is this a test?
Okay, they're passing the
Well,
yellow paper.
I
right?
like to play too.
This is
Oh,
such a
it's your
funny-
turn.
Yes.
We haven't even gotten to you yet.
No, yeah.
All right.
Let's give everyone else the questions.
We're ready? You can go. In a serious relationship, do you feel it's important to keep your significant other informed of the details of your day-to-day life?
More or less.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
No.
Liar. In the line, wherefore art thou Romeo, what does wherefore mean? Where, why, how, or who cares?
Why?
You're wrong, it's why. Would you pick up a hitchhiker?
No, absolutely not.
In high school, were you one of the cool kids?
No, absolutely not.
What do you, we have the timer, but we never paid attention to it. Which do you regret more, the mistakes you've made or the chances you haven't taken?
Neither.
You've lived a pretty good life.
I feel like
What'd you feel?
in the last couple of years especially, I've found that I've said yes to everything. Like anytime I'm presented with an opportunity, no matter how much anxiety I have about it, I always say yes to it.
What about that hitchhiker though?
You got me there. Yes to anything that is safe for me.
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't put me in danger.
I picked up a hitchhiker once, but well, does it count if your neighbor needs a ride to go get drugs, but you don't know you're taking him to get drugs and it's a winter storm and it's ice on the road and you shouldn't be out and you're only 16 and you're just trying to be nice, and when you show up at the place, it's like he goes in and he comes out with drugs, and then you're like, I don't know if we can get back home because there's so much ice on the road. We're gonna just have to park here. Like, we're gonna end up in a ditch and it's just gonna be me, you, and your drugs.
Yeah.
No, that's not. I don't think that's hitchhiking.
That's not hitchhiking. That's an accessory to a crime.
Yeah.
Right, darling, I'm gonna pass that over to you.
Some new ginger ale.
Wow,
Don't
this
go.
is happening. I was wondering why you kept asking, what else do you want to drink? Because
Oh,
it happens.
We have
Yeah.
a full bar
Yes.
staff.
Yeah, I'm done with this.
So what would you care for?
I'll just take a.
You want another one of those shots?
I'll take a seltzer.
Seltzer? All right, we can do that.
You still good?
Perfect.
I'm good right now.
All right, all right.
Thank
I'll be
you.
back.
Thank you, Texas.
No worries.
Thank you.
That's how it works.
He does it all.
It's true. One
really
stop
does.
shop.
That is great service.
He's a man of many talents.
I'm gonna
He gave me
leave
a facial the other day. Can you believe?
I'm gonna leave like
Really?
a 5-star review
Yep, please do.
of your
Please.
podcast. On Yelp though.
Oh, we're not
Is
on
it on Yelp?
We should
We're
have
only
a
on
Yelp
Your
page.
podcast should be on Yelp.
We should.
It would be fun.
Definitely.
Let's start it before this airs.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, so go rate us 5 stars on Yelp. Because we're already up.
This is going good so far, huh?
Is it? Are you enjoying yourself?
You think?
Every
I just like to assess things.
every
Out
15
loud.
minutes, could you tell
Yeah,
me
can you
if
please
it's
let us know?
going
Yeah.
okay?
Whenever I see
this
a
is
mirror
going
or a
good
friend,
so
I'm always
far.
like, this is going good, right?
Thinking out loud again, huh? I'm doing a good job. I think. Yeah.
I think this is going
Okay,
great.
so
I think
here's
it's
the
going
goal.
great, too.
Barbara, when she gets to laughing a lot, she starts crying.
Oh.
So I'd like to see her cry.
Oh, that's good.
I
wanna hear
cry.
her cry.
The first level is snort, which I've already hit.
Okay, okay.
Second level is cry.
Okay.
Well, before we move
At
on,
what point do you squeal like a pig?
that's reserved for me and my boyfriend.
Oh,
Okay.
gross.
Oh, whoa. 3 stars.
Okay.
It's gonna keep
Is this an Uber ride? What are you talking about?
It's a Yelp review. Man.
Oh,
You've already put in your review. You can't change it.
No, you can edit them now.
Can you really?
You can do an update. Sometimes
can.
I leave a bad review and then I go back and it's better. I'm like, I'd like to take back everything that I said.
Is it after the manager
I've
contacts
actually
you?
never,
And
I've only left one
peace.
Yelp review. It was for a seafood restaurant in North Carolina that had no windows.
that's not a strip club.
Was it a positive review or negative?
No, it was very negative. I said something like, if you like the idea of eating seafood and feeling like you're trapped below deck or something like that, this is
Trying
the-
to be.
No, I was being serious.
writer.
Because we were, I
sound
took
like
the
that,
whole
yeah.
family and I'm like, let's eat some you know what? We're in North Carolina, let's just eat some good old redneck fried seafood. You know what I'm saying?
Is it because they want to keep you in there for as long as possible and not let you know what time of day it is?
I just
Yeah.
think it was bad
The
design.
casino?
The sun hasn't come up yet.
And anyway, the owner responded to my review.
Oh.
Very upset. So I never touched Yelp again.
I mean,
for
did
that.
he
I got
can't? How
burned.
would he respond? Because he can't fix it for you. You can't carve someone
You
in
can,
there.
yeah, you can. You can put it. It's not underwater. You just add a window.
Your review had me convinced it was underwater.
It's not a yacht.
Yeah.
Get a sawzall. Cut a window in.
Just by yourself.
Doggy door, at least. You know what I'm saying?
Every restaurant needs to have a doggy door. So before I move on, I would like to say thank you to Simple Contacts. Always Open is brought to you by Simple Contacts. and
You
Mariel
need to read this part.
is going to read it for you because I do not wear contacts, but she
But
does.
I do. So, this episode of Always Open is brought to you by Simple Contacts. I wear contacts, Barbara doesn't. And I always find myself dreading that annual appointment to renew my prescription. It's such a pain. That's why I was excited to try Simple Contacts, a great new app that makes the time-consuming prescription renewal process very, well, simple. You guys wear contacts? You-
Sometimes Link
I,
will.
I wore them this morning. I took a little jog, and I didn't want my eyes to be impeded by glasses.
There you go.
Just hopping up and down on your
Well, I tend to fall when I jog, and I don't want to break my glasses.
All right, well, Simple Contacts offers an amazing selection with every brand of contacts, and their prices are hard to beat. The eye exam is just $20, and they offer free shipping. Please note that the Simple Contacts vision test isn't a replacement for your periodic full eye health exam. They only test that your current prescription still helps you see 20/20 and renew that prescription. They don't write completely new prescriptions or examine your eye health. I use Simple Contacts. The beautiful contacts that I have in my eyes right now to help me see are from Simple Contacts. It's super easy. You go online. I had a pretty new prescription, so I sent them a picture of it, uploaded it, and they sent me my contacts within like a few days. It was super easy, super simple. I didn't have to go anywhere. Way cheaper than ordering through my doctor, which is great. So to save $20 on your first Simple Contacts order, go to simplecontacts.com/alwaysopen and enter the promo code alwaysopen at checkout. That's $20 off your first Simple Contacts order when you go to simplecontacts.com/alwaysopen and enter promo code alwaysopen at checkout. It's simple at simplecontacts.com/alwaysopen.
Is that the actual tagline?
No.
Oh, I like that though.
That's great.
It's
That is-
simple.
no.
It's simple.
Should be.
It's simple.
Pretty simple.
If I ever need contacts, I know where I'm going.
Right.
So far, 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What about you?
Borderline.
Okay.
Borderline needs glasses.
But just putting it off.
Yeah, because he's already got glasses.
I was gonna say
Can only be one.
you can't do that.
Yeah, it might be inevitable though. But I'm just preparing. It's a slow burn.
Yeah.
3 to 5 year plan.
Gotcha.
you go.
Come back in 3 to 5 years. We'll see how you do. All right. So our first segment of the show is from user Sybil T, and Sybil wants to know what keeps you up at night.
God.
You know, if I have anything that approximates a superpower, I think it's the ability to fall asleep no matter what's going on. I honestly can't remember the last time anything's kept me up at night. And I'm a very anxious person, which is really weird. Like what was I saying that I got anxious about earlier today?
You got anxious about.
Oh, I got this thing I got this moisturizer that I
answer
spray
fast.
on my face.
Oh.
And it has it's like, it's got a battery operated, so it's like,
It's very high tech.
and
Why does that need to be battery operated?
Otherwise, you have to press it.
it's USB rechargeable. It's pretty awesome.
It's this
I wish I had
magic
it.
device.
I would go get it. Can we?
Is it in your luggage somewhere?
Yeah. Can you go get it? Can I demonstrate it?
Me?
I don't know why I looked at you.
You looked straight at her. You said, "Can you go get it?"
I was gonna ask Stevie to go get it, and then I looked straight at you. I was like, "Can you go get it? Just go get it."
Barb, go find it.
Do you really have it in your backpack?
I'll just tell you about it. No,
I think you got to get
this is
it.
going off the rails now.
I think
I'm
she has
sorry.
to go find it.
Can you bring me my bag, Stevie? When you see it, it's gonna be
seems
awesome.
unnecessary, but when you see it, you're gonna want it.
You're gonna want it.
Okay.
You're gonna want it. You're gonna want
That
it.
is the one thing I say
Alright,
to
here it
myself
comes.
every
Can
time
you-
I put on my moisturizer.
Can you go get it? Okay. I got my bag here.
Now, so we had.
I had the same bag as you.
I have one of these. I have not
wow.
activated it yet.
Okay.
Because the woman who
up.
was doing the makeup on GMM had one,
I'll hit
and then she was like, "Oh, I know the person who invented this
All
or
right, so
something."
check-
this
check
is
this
why we
out.
have.
Are you gonna spray it on me?
No, seriously, no, it's totally fine to go over your makeup.
Okay.
It locks it in.
locks
It's
it.
great. Yeah,
you need
it's
to
great.
you need to blot that tear though.
You can do it over
All
makeup.
right, so check this out.
Totally fine.
Barbara, don't
No,
be afraid of it.
just hey,
All right, look. Close your
not a
eyes.
hitchhiker.
Fucking anticipation.
Close your eyes. Open your mouth.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's nice. Doesn't it feel great?
It does.
It's hyaluronic acid in it.
Now here we go.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Is that
Wow.
not? That's
that.
awesome.
Harold's taking it like a champ.
Now you will forget the last 72
Doesn't it
hours.
smell better? we're just like getting
Why your eyes up? Open your eyes, you moron.
For the bit.
All right.
Gotta do
So,
it
How do you
yourself, too.
refill it?
so here's the thing.
It has a little. It has a little
Are we
package.
going full product
want a full
demonstration here?
review.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And then the thing I realized, because I was like, man, this feels good. I don't want to stop. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to do this forever. I'm sitting here doing it. I'm also breathing. And then look, it stopped on its own.
Yeah.
Whoa. As
And
like
then-
a safety measure?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why.
Just in case you leave it open
I
on
think
the
it's because
table?
if you like, I don't know, if
Listen.
you drop it,
Here's my
you don't want it
point.
to go forever.
Here's my point, ladies. It stopped on its own. And I immediately felt guilty that it had stopped. I'm like,
It's a little strange.
am I using this so much already that it is intervening and saying too much? Like, I am that anxious of a person that I have personified this device to the point that it made me feel bad for stopping,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't stop.
You got to get to where you can look like you're more into.
Close your
Oh,
eyes.
I love it. I do have a question about this, though. Ooh, I'm so shiny now, in a good way.
You're not shiny.
No, in a
No,
good way.
and it's
Listening.
really nice.
Nice highlight.
So it
It's gonna
is.
keep you young,
You could
like
charge
me.
it with a USB. You said, right? USB
Yeah,
charger.
yeah,
Yeah.
I got
But
that
doesn't
right here.
It eventually run out of the
Yeah, how do you
spray?
refill the spray?
It comes
well,
with a canister.
I've been peeing in this for a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's why it feels so nice.
Yeah,
Right.
it smells great.
Anyway, I had a point, which was if you go to sprayinyourface.com/Rhett and Link, you get a 20% off. No, I'm not selling this thing.
We should though.
But
It's called
that-
Skin Up if you want
stuff
it.
like
but
that keeps
we're
you
not
open
selling
at
it, not a sponsor.
Yeah.
But that made me anxious, yet I don't remember ever losing sleep at night over anything. I guess I'm just that stupid when I get sleepy. What about you,
I
right?
can attest to that.
Basically, I just took that long to answer your question with a non-answer.
That's how you do
I
the
appreciate
show.
it. Yeah.
So
Imagine if you were
nothing
drinking.
keeps you up at night.
Yeah. And
Nothing
I
keeps
mean,
me up at night.
we sometimes have questions that don't apply to
I sleep
everybody.
stupid.
Well, on a technical level, I mean, this coffee will probably, because it is after 4 o'clock, will probably keep me up until past midnight.
Damn.
I'm very sensitive to caffeine, but you know what? I'm in Austin.
You got a party.
I got an appetite.
That's how you do it in Texas.
I, on the other hand, I have trouble getting to sleep. And for me, I'm not that anxious of a person, but it's just work-related stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
is the thing that we're doing right now, could it be better? You know, whatever it is that we're working on. Like we are just finishing up a novel, and it's one of those things that having never written one before.
Like both of you
I'm
guys
gonna
together?
start crying talking about this. No, yeah, writing it together, and this. Having never written a novel before, everybody's like, oh, well, the hard part is finishing it. It's like, well, that turns out to be very true. Because you can like...
I actually hate it when people who say that kind of stuff are right.
yeah, well, because I'm like going to bed and I'm like, oh, yeah, well, I could do that. And then I'm like, am I going to... It's like when you have a dream and you're like, oh, I need to write this down, but that's going to like, I have to turn on the light and I got to get my notebook out. No, this is so significant that I will not forget this dream. And then you wake up and you forget it.
That happens to be, no joke, every fucking night.
Really?
Yeah. Every
Well-
time I have a dream, I go, I'm not going to remember this. I should write it down. But I'm so comfortable.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're lazy. You
But
need
you
a
know
dream
what?
journal.
Yeah. Well, I've got a dream journal on my phone, but it still takes like Face ID. And you know how troublesome Face ID is. You got to look at your
You have
phone.
You have to point it at your face.
Yeah. So for me, it's
Troublesome.
it's always something related to something that we've got going on, and thinking that, and it just, I think a lot of this, and this is, I'm sure that you guys can relate to this. It's like when you do what we do for a living, it's just like you tend to, probably in unhealthy ways, you kind of tie your value to the way things are received.
Yeah,
And so I think you just spend a lot of time thinking like, oh, that could be better, and you're like, well, I shouldn't be worried. I shouldn't be thinking about this right now. I should be like doing something to better my health, like sprayonyourface.com/Rhett and Link on my face.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
You know
Stay
what?
hydrated, kids.
I'll take a water at this point.
Yes, sir.
I recommend this seltzer water. It's bubbly. It's got.
Got a little hint of lime.
So it's pretty simple, but it's never anything super specific. It's just general work anxiety.
Well, that's something I've always admired about you guys is you do 5 shows a week.
Yeah.
Every week, nonstop.
In order to be able to do things like what we're doing right now, we will batch shoot some episodes and kind of make it where we can do other things
Gotcha.
because GMM is obviously probably the most widely known thing that we do, but like writing this novel, and we're working on a lot of other narrative things that we're trying to get off the ground, and just running a company, that stuff ends up taking a lot of our time. So yeah, and then I think that the more stuff you have going on, the more sources of anxiety you have.
100%.
And then you're like, how long can I sustain this? Thank you.
Thank you, Texas.
You know, how long can I sustain? Like I heard a story about somebody asking Jack Nicholson to be in something, and this is like asking him like 5 years ago, and he was like, you know what I'm doing right now? I'm sitting under a tree painting.
He's like on the phone, responding.
Yeah. And he was like, and you know what I want to be doing during the time that you're making this thing? I want to be sitting under a tree painting. And so I'm going to say no.
Wow.
I'm not saying that I'm Jack Nicholson.
One day, though.
But the idea of getting to a place where it's like, that doesn't sound too stress-inducing. It sounds pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, I just always have admired it. Anybody who could create content on that type of scale continuously. Like, we do the show once a week, and we take
6 weeks break.
6-week break in between seasons.
Oh, I thought you said in between episodes.
In between seasons.
Pacing yourself.
And even that, it still stresses me out in terms of coming up with fresh content and
A
getting
fresh
guests
new
on the
theme
show.
song, fresh new set, fresh
Yeah.
new season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that stuff, as you guys might have heard. But to do it on I guess, batching it up for a daily show every single week for 7 years, give or take.
guess so, yeah.
2012, yeah.
That is insane, and I can't imagine the amount of pressure and anxiety that you guys probably faced with coming up with new segments and keeping it fresh.
As long as I'm asleep, I'm cool. You know, it's the waking hours that get me.
Right.
Just sleep under a tree painting.
There you go.
Yeah. I might start painting though. I'm
man.
thinking about that.
Meryl, I know you and I probably have some.
Oh,
Similarities in
every
this.
night the weight of the world crushes me, and I lay in bed staring at the ceiling until I get up.
So basically polar opposites right here.
Yeah, 100%.
You do?
Oh,
So
yeah.
Are your eyes open?
All of the time.
What's up there on your ceiling?
You don't want to know.
You should write something. Oh, there's a mirror. No. You should write something.
On the ceiling?
Yeah.
Like a motivational quote kind of thing?
It would just say, like, go to sleep, bitch.
Yeah. In your own blood.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
No,
I'll tell you, if you're writing your own blood up there, you'll close your eyes. Put something really disturbing up there.
You should just put that spray moisturizer thing on your
Oh,
face.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Just keep my eyes
A
closed.
whole bed, it's like a tanning booth.
And it just doesn't stop.
Sprays
ever.
the body. I love
And the
that.
sound would be so soothing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
No, I'm a very anxious person, and my anxiety is the worst at night. So last night I didn't sleep because I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about y'all's visit and making sure everything went well.
Yeah,
for it.
Meryl coordinated.
Which
pretty much
hopefully it
everything that
has
happened
gone
today.
well. I don't
You've
know.
done
Can you give me
fabulous.
another status update? Are you doing okay? How you feeling?
This is going good.
Cool.
Good job, Meryl. Good job.
I did it. I can sleep tonight, maybe. You guys were.
You should probably stay up tonight and still kind of overanalyze
Still
it.
ruminate-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably missing something that you should lose sleep over.
Right.
Earlier today, I had one of our coworkers. She I put her on this shoot to help me coordinate it, and I texted her while we were in makeup, and I said, "Hey, like, how's everything going over there?" And she was like, "It's a nightmare. We haven't even started yet. People are getting really impatient." And I was just like, "Oh my gosh, like, what is going on?" And she was just like, "I'm just fucking with you." I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
"It's Jessica funny." And I was like, "Why would you do that to me, already knowing I have this issue?"
She could have said they are a nightmare to work with.
No, she did not say that.
And that would have not been a joke.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
the world crushes me every night.
I'm sorry you're losing sleep. What? Let's develop an action plan.
I've got one going.
All
Yeah,
right.
she's-
We don't have to know what it is. I'm just glad to hear that you got
Meryl's
something.
looking after herself.
Okay.
Started
27 is
Yeah.
the year of growth.
All right. Good. You can do it.
It's also the year everything starts breaking.
Is it?
Yeah.
Man,
At least for me.
I've already had
Everything
3
starts-
doctor's visits. I turned 27 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Gone to the
Gotta,
doctor.
hey,
gosh.
gotta keep on it. Keep on
You
your health.
just wait. You
Getting
just
there.
wait.
Getting there.
Crack.
What about you,
We were
baby?
talking about the other day how like if you're sitting on the floor, getting up is like a 4-step process.
Oh, yeah.
Just like first you gotta like some of this, and, like little
Right. First, you got to
turns.
check Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Let's not forget
Yeah,
that.
I've actually thought because I do go to the gym to try to counteract the aging process, and I was laying down doing something, and then I had to get up, and like in the middle of getting up, I just realized how unathletically I was getting up, and how carefully I was getting up, and I was like rolling onto one side and putting one elbow down. I was like, can't hurt my back. It was like unfolding my way up.
Yep.
I was like,
I'm similar to you, Mariel, where my anxiety is the worst at night. Specifically, if I wake up in the middle of the night, if I was having a bad dream, or if I just have to like go up to pee, I will start thinking of everything that I'm scared of in that moment for some reason. And for some reason, I used to have this like anxiety when it came to people I cared about and loved getting into terrible situations, whether it was like getting hurt or dying or whatever it was.
Or eating at like a no window seafood place.
That too,
Yeah.
terrifying.
so worrying about other people.
That was how it started, and I still have that, but now it's also worrying about what would happen to the people I love if something happened to me. And I just like started getting really paranoid about that kind of thing.
That's a little too selfless. You need to work on your selfishness. Like,
So I
focus
think that's the
inward.
ultimate selfishness, no? Worrying about how
Well, no, but if
you're
you're worried about what happens to them, that, that's still selfless.
I guess so. But it's almost like how would something happening to me affect other people?
But if you worry about what they think about you,
I don't really care about that.
that's pretty selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what when
feel
I
like
think about my work is probably just related to that.
Fair enough.
Selfishness.
I think you need all your loved ones in your life to just tell you they don't need you
Barbara,
again and again.
I don't need to.
Thank you. I feel better now. I'll
If
sleep
you-
at night.
Just tell her if she died, you'd be fine.
I wouldn't care.
Oh,
Bad
God, I
back.
didn't say that. I said you'd be fine.
Starting it off strong.
I would lose sleep for the rest of my life.
Thank you.
Oh, that's sweet.
No. You went too far.
sorry.
You missed the point. The point is, when you die, because you will,
Thank you.
those who are still living, their lives will go on. They'll be fine. Ultimately.
And that's what you needed to hear, Barbara.
No, you know what? I'm sorry for trying to fix your problems. That's not a
No,
healthy
but-
That's why we
response.
invited you on
I
the
mean,
show.
it's funny.
Oh,
because-
really?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, we actually need a
Now
lot
the
of help.
pressure's on.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like during the day, I understand. I'm rational. I get that stuff. But at
Ooh,
night,
never.
I don't. My brain becomes a different brain, where it's just like it can't
true.
rationalize.
Yeah.
And it becomes scared of everything
a
and
real thing.
paranoid, and like every noise is something that's like that's a person coming to kill me, or whatever it is.
Have you tried drinking too much?
Not yet, actually.
Okay, not recommending it, but just brainstorming here.
Keep your options open.
Well, we'll work on it. Thanks for the advice, guys. Appreciate it.
Don't hold us to it.
All right, so this next question comes from Kara T. And Kara asks, what was your biggest insecurity growing up?
I remember being terribly insecure about my eyebrows growing together.
Yeah?
Yeah, don't look at them right now.
I was
You
gonna
have a
say,
You
just
history
like
of
them.
We'll get
unibrows
to
in
it.
your
We'll get
life?
to it. Yeah, I'll let you examine them thoroughly
Okay.
at the right moment.
Take that mister out and
Yeah, so like it runs in my family, the unibrow, and maybe it's best for you to tell the story from your perspective.
Well, at the same time, which was a 7th or 8th grade that we talked about.
I think it was 8th grade. I think
ask, what did you guys do in 7th
Well,
or 8th grade?
Let's say 8th grade.
this story happened. I think in 8th grade, but
So I was having a similar problem, like eyebrows beginning to grow together, and like my mom and dad they weren't saying anything about it. They weren't helping. So just kind of on my own, I was like, I could probably do something about this. I can pluck in between my eyebrows.
Yeah.
So I kind of on my own figured this out, got rid of some of the rogue hairs, And then Link, and somehow we ended up talking about the fact that you were having the same issue. And I was like, you know, you can actually get rid of the unibrow. Like, look what I did. And he was like, I kind of see the wheels turn. He was like, okay. So the next day he comes to school and there is a space in between his eyebrows, exactly the width of a Gillette sensor razor.
Yeah.
I mean, it
You
went.
just one swipe.
Yeah, it was like they were
One quick swipe.
touching,
It's like charging on your credit card.
and they were. Then it was they were this far apart, and
Yeah.
the edge was completely straight.
Wow.
And I was like, "What did you do?" He was like, "I took care of it, man." I was like,
Kind of like a mobster. I took care of it.
You shaved it? And if you go back and look at your 8th grade,
Yeah.
and probably 9th grade,
We
like
put-
school picture,
Yeah.
there's too much space there.
Too much space.
Yeah.
Too much space.
Wait, did you keep doing it?
But I remember,
consistently?
well, once you do it once,
yeah,
you got to
yeah.
maintain.
Yeah.
And I remember we were driving back from a basketball. Rhett's dad was driving us back from a basketball game, and then Rhett was like, we had the conversation that day, and then Rhett's like brings it up to his dad, and he was like, Dad, tell Link he shouldn't shave between his eyebrows. Like, why you got to bring your dad into that?
Because you respected his opinion, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, you always
did.
listen to dad.
I started plucking, but like I forgot my plucker. You see, I can see there's one I need to pluck right now. You see it, that black one right
Wait,
there?
if you want it,
It's actually,
Texas, Texas
Probably
has
8,
some.
probably a lot.
there's
That's
one
fine.
that's-
You can be honest.
I feel weird looking at
There's
you.
one.
There's one
there's
that's like
one-
lighter.
Yeah, the
but-
lighter ones I can get away
Okay,
with.
but
that.
I think maybe, unless it's
But here's
makeup,
the
I see
interesting
3.
thing, is that I had the same
black
issue.
ones. Yeah, and I noticed one. You're noticing 2 more.
Yeah.
I can't see you right now. I'm looking right through you. But you got any tweezers on you?
I don't.
Texas has
I'm
some.
sure we do.
Texas, you got some tweezers?
The bartender has tweezers.
Let's
He's
do
got it all.
Yeah.
You want a live
Yeah,
tweeze?
tweeze me. Let's do a live tweezing.
But here's the interesting thing while he's getting
And I
that,
love having my glasses because then that's the thing I don't have to
They
worry about.
cover
that,
it perfectly.
I started plucking at the same time, or a little bit earlier while he was still shaving. And I'd say by like 11th grade, the follicles were dead.
What?
Like I haven't plucked in between my eyebrows in 20 years.
Stop gloating, man.
No, I'm just saying there's something weird about either my follicles or your follicles.
Your follicles.
Probably yours.
Yeah.
The fact that I plucked them and then it's like, okay, they just gave up.
Does it happen to any other hair on your body, or if you just consistently get rid of it, it stops growing there?
I haven't plucked,
Unless you
I haven't
laser it.
plucked anywhere else.
I
If
know,
you
we can
shave
ask-
it, it grows back hard.
Texas is also a laser hair removal technician.
Oh,
Yeah.
bring in the laser.
You could ask him.
He knows
Look how
all.
big he is, man.
He knows literally
Okay,
everything about
Texas,
the
we
world.
have a technical question.
All right, let's get in there.
So-
Probably have a technical.
Do you have a tweezer?
I do.
Can you do 2 things at once?
I can.
I
So
can't.
while you're tweezing Link, can you
Yes.
answer
Now
my
look.
question of
Now look.
why?
Now don't get it all
I'm
now.
gonna get rid of all of it
Why is it that I don't have to pluck anymore?
I don't feel
because
like
your follicles are gone. So you've kind
you
of
getting it?
you
Follicles
damaged
all
the
gone.
follicle.
Yeah, but how come Link's follicles aren't
you
damaged?
getting it.
Some people.
I
just
don't
have-
want it to break off.
Right. I know. Some people just have more
He's a
hair than
professional.
others. Some people just have more hair than others.
This is.
Oh yeah, that felt good.
Yeah, but my
I
eyebrows
could
are
feel
so.
when that one came out.
Because incidentally,
Like an old tree.
My
Oh yeah,
insecurity-
that was a big one.
That was a good one. That one actually
felt
was,
good.
That was in the brain, I think. That was,
Yeah.
that was
That's some brain matter
You still know who I
attached.
am, right? You still know who I am?
We're good.
What year
How
is
many
this?
fingers?
Where are you?
This is good. Anybody else want to try? Oh yeah.
He actually took some of mine out earlier.
He did.
I have like very fine little
Oh,
blonde
yeah.
ones.
You can laser. Actually,
Brag about it.
there's some people that will laser that area. It's called the glabella region, but a lot of people, doctors won't let you because it's too close to the ocular rim. So you can actually go blind.
Oh.
So they have to put metal little like insert contacts over the eyes so they can get rid of it. But waxing,
Yeah.
tweezing over the years, if you keep doing it repetitively, you're damaging the follicle, so the follicle won't come back. But again, some people have more hair than others. A lot of
have
it's
a resilient-
testosterone. A lot
That's
of it could be.
but that's what
Yeah.
you want. You want the follicles to die in the bad places.
Eventually, yes, yes.
So are you, if I get waxed in a certain spot a lot,
What, do you,
It comes back less, but
what is this? Is this just something that happens to be
It's-
happening
this
with
is my
it's-
way of
she got
pointing
waxed.
down.
She gets waxed on her hand.
She gets waxed. Yeah, it's right here.
Right here.
She just gets
I do
right
have tiny
there.
Look how
little
clean
finger
it
hairs.
Yeah, well, so if you get waxed, for instance, a lot, then you're going to lose the follicle. It's going to come back in finer and thinner, but it's always going to come back. So we have different growth cycles for hair. On the face, it's 4 to 6 weeks, 6 to 8. Anything below the pelvic region is going to be 8 to 12 weeks.
Oh, slow growing. Pubes are slow.
You're learning, people. You are learning. Yeah, pubes
Good
are
to
slow.
know.
Yeah, so there you go.
Well, thank you, Texas.
We can laser that. I can do that. I can carry that for you. We can be very close.
I was gonna
Oh,
say
wow.
that's probably a little.
We
too
need to start having a one-stop shop for you.
Well,
Every time
you
we
know
have
what?
a guest come in, we're like,
Link's grandma can do it. She got a whole room in her house that has an electrolysis machine and a chair.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is you were dealing with this problem all your life, and your grandma was just sitting there waxing. I mean,
She got
shocking
into
all
it.
these old
No.
ladies.
Yeah, she
I
didn't
could have gone
start-
in there.
She didn't start her electrolysis business till I was in college.
Yeah, but that wasn't too late, man. You could have gone in there and say, "Grandma, made me go blind."
She did it. She did it once, and it hurt bad. So I didn't go back.
In here?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, just tweeze it or shave it.
It's good quality time. It's self-care.
Yeah, self-care's important.
Self-care.
So you had the eyebrow hair that made you self-conscious, insecurity growing up.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I completely honest, ironically and independently, my insecurity was centered around my eyebrows as well.
Really?
But this is what it was. I remember I didn't always have this beard, and I didn't always have this hair. I used to just have a very short hair. And if you've
yeah, I
ever
picture
seen
it
me,
now.
you know what? You if you want to scare yourself, you can Google Rhett with no beard,
okay.
and
I don't know my phone.
that's it's unpleasant.
You'll probably pull it up in the booth.
We can show it. We can show it.
What makes it
You want to
unpleasant?
use my phone?
My face makes it unpleasant.
We'll just Google it.
Okay.
I remember we were doing a school project, and I was on video, and this is back when, of course, you're shooting in whatever the VHS or whatever the format was in the late 80s, early 90s, and I remember watching back the video. Okay, first of all, there's me without a
Wow.
Wow.
You look. I mean,
Yeah, nightmare fuel.
different.
No, that's
It's definitely different.
it's
How long
it's
ago was that?
unbelievable.
How old would you say you are in that?
That was like 2 years ago.
Wait, really?
I shaved my beard for the first season of Buddy System for a flashback.
Oh, God, his
You look like you're like 18
Can
there.
we see that again?
Please don't show it.
Oh,
You seriously look like you could be 18.
yeah, you look
Yeah.
really, really.
Well, you know what? I'd rather not look
Did
like
your
I was
kids?
18.
How did your kids feel about it?
My kids, they were not kind. My own mother wasn't kind. I sent her a picture of myself, and
Did she say,
texted
"Put it back"?
She said, "Oh, poor baby."
Did she say it like,
She did not whisper anything to me.
Whisper tunnel.
That's when you should whisper.
But I remember watching myself on the. I say that about the beard and the hair to let you know that once you strip away this and this, there's not a lot left.
You guys do have
And,
fabulous hair.
Thank you.
And so, but in the low resolution of that video in like the late 80s, I was watching myself and I just looked like two giant black caterpillars just floating around. There's something about the way the contrast happened, and I've always been so much taller than everybody, and everybody's like, oh, but isn't that great? But it's like nobody wants to be different, especially when you're that age.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I was like tall, and I was like trying to like get down to everybody else's height, and then I look at myself on the video, and I look like this guy, like
No, like the eyebrows are
Like
coming.
Gollum with the unibrow.
with the giant eyebrows. So superficial things
When
like
what age did you hit your permanent height?
permanent height.
Like when did you stop growing?
He's still growing.
I worded that in a very weird
Yeah.
way. When did you
that's a good
stop
one.
growing?
I stopped growing like at 18,
Gotcha.
but there was no. I was 6'4" when I went into high school.
Wow.
So I was
When you went into high
yes, already very tall.
Damn.
So there was no growth spurt, and maybe there was a growth spurt like in the womb,
Maybe.
because as far back as I can remember, in all the pictures, I'm already taller than people.
You came out,
So-
you were 7 ounces, but you were 4 feet.
34 inches.
That's right. Yeah. So
Stringy.
superficial eyebrow concerns.
Yeah. I, ironically enough, my insecurity growing up was my height. I was 5'9" since the age of 12.
Yeah.
So
Really? Is that when you hit your permanent height?
it was when I hit my permanent height. That's correct.
5'9". Age
And
12.
Age 12.
Damn.
And at that age, all the boys are still under 5'7", 5'6" even.
Yeah.
Right.
And so being the tallest girl, but also the tallest person in my entire grade
Yeah.
was a very insecure feeling.
What did you
Right.
What did you get? Did you get like a lot of questions about? Do you play volleyball?
Basketball,
Basketball.
Yeah.
which I did.
You did.
Well,
Oh,
of
okay.
because
course.
Slam Dunkelman.
I had
Do
to.
you still get that question?
No,
Because
no, not anymore.
I get that question
well, you are
twice a
also
week.
very tall.
still, and I'm like, what do you? You play basketball? Like, for who? What, like a rec league? What do you mean? Who do I play basketball for?
Is that what you say though? Or are you too nice to him? Because you should say that.
No,
For who, dumbass?
I always say, I did.
Oh gosh, don't go easy on him.
Really? But why have a confrontation when I can just say I did?
You should
and
just say,
then-
what's basketball?
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah, divert.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then maybe you'll get that answer you're always looking for.
right.
The one about what basketball is.
But I also get, how tall are you? And my answer to that is 5'19" is what I say, because that's enough to make people feel a little stupid.
How did you deal with it?
I could tell you that I had no dates ever
Ah.
until I was probably in the 10th grade when people started evening out.
Mm-hmm.
But
You're like, one more year, Tommy. You're almost there.
yeah. No, it's because like
No,
one
because
was,
the boys were intimidated.
no one was interested
Yeah.
in me because I was so tall and lanky and awkward. Maybe it wasn't the height. Maybe it was everything else. But I remember vividly very many school dances where people would like couple up and start dancing, and like people would ask me out of pity, and it would literally be like when you're doing the slow dance when you have your arms around the guy's neck, but I'd be like down here, and they'd be like holding my waist like this.
You need to
There's
watch
a-
Pen 15. You'll get some crazy nostalgia flashbacks.
Oh,
of
yeah?
that. Yeah.
Oh.
But then, yeah, then people started evening out, and then, it didn't really help my case. I didn't have anyone interested in me throughout high school. I was not popular. I had friends, but I just kind of all over the place. And one of my worst memories was we had a grad auction in the 12th grade where people could auction on participating graduates to come to the final dance of the year with them. And so it's a volunteer thing. So you say like, oh yeah, I'll participate in this. And it was all money for charity. And right before they were gonna do the presentation of like who won every person, the teacher came up to me, she goes, so I just want you to know, unfortunately, you were the only student who didn't get any bids.
Oh gosh.
So if you don't want to come up on stage, I would understand. And so I had to tell my best friend, hey, can you throw in $5 for me just so I'm not on stage and like, Barbara Dunkelman, thank you.
That was a good plan. That was a
Yeah.
good idea.
So, because they don't announce like the amount of money or anything like that, but it's not a nice time.
But look at you now.
Yeah, you're hanging out with the two of us. Yeah, look at us now, all right?
Yeah, bunch of eyebrows over here.
Bunch of eyebrows. Bunch of eyebrows. It's funny that you said that. My sister-in-law was so, she had her first baby back in July, and my brother, beautiful thick eyebrows, but constantly tweezing. And she had so many nightmares that her baby was going to be born with a unibrow. And she was like, I would see unibrows everywhere.
That's what kept her up at
That's
night.
what kept her up
Right.
at night.
Yeah. Eyebrow concerns.
Eyebrow concerns are real.
Yeah.
You experience the advantages of height now. Have
Oh,
you
100%.
realized it?
Yeah, I have.
good.
I've come into my own with it. I've now accepted it. A lot of the things I was insecure about as a kid, I've come to either appreciate or accept over time.
Yeah.
Ooh, like reaching things.
Reaching things, just clothes fitting nicely,
Ah,
you know.
Oh, really? That happens for you?
Well, I'm also at like a manageable height.
I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
5'9". Yeah, I don't consider five. My
5'9".
wife's
5'9" at 12.
My wife is 5'9", but she's not 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
For the record.
Well, I'm also not 12 anymore, but I'm still
No,
5'9".
you're not.
I'm at my permanent height.
Permanent. Well, you never know.
It's
I
true.
mean,
You could grow.
sometimes
Actually,
people
I would say lower.
suddenly stretch, and many times people suddenly get shorter.
Yeah. Well, that's almost
gotta watch
down
out.
from here. Down from here.
Like if you lose both your feet or something.
Well, you definitely
morbid.
do shrink, and then sometimes you're in like an accident, and you wake up like an inch shorter. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It happens.
You just take a piece of your legs.
It's called compression.
Oh,
Meryl, what were you insecure about growing up?
It gets dark, you guys. We're talking about eyebrows. We're talking about very superficial
Very
things.
physical things.
Physical things. Mine wasn't physical. It was being gay in a small conservative town.
Yeah.
I grew up on a dairy farm. Grew up in a
4,000 cows.
4,000 cows. My mom's a school teacher, so she knows the entire town. I think my hometown population is probably about 18,000, so not the smallest town in the world, but not the biggest. And so yeah, I was just like, man, I hope no one ever finds this out until I'm talking about it.
for
Are you coming out right now?
This is me coming out, yeah.
happening.
No one has ever known, so I'm proud to do it in front of you guys.
Well, I don't know if I should take that seriously.
I don't know if I should take that seriously.
And so, at what point did you come out?
To my parents when I was 19, when I was already living here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I don't think you were out to us at Rooster Teeth until like a year.
It was the Pulse shooting. That's
Yeah.
when I publicly wrote a post on the Rooster Teeth website, and I was like, "What's up?
Yeah.
Have a drink. Let's sit down. Let's talk about this
Down
stuff."
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, that couldn't have been easy, growing up. Like not feeling.
Yeah, and I
Not
was
feeling
short. So
like you
being,
could-
if I was tall, I would have been so much better.
But also
being
she had
short-
great eyebrows.
great eyebrows.
She had that going.
Short enough. It worked out for me. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a scary thing, but I met kind of, even though it was a small town, I did meet some like gay people around my age, so that kind of helped. And then moving to Austin helped so much.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, that was, gosh, almost 8 years ago.
That's another good thing about being in a big city.
Oh yeah, going from a small town to a big city.
Yeah.
Or big town.
So I'll never go back.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I mean, we grew up in a teeny tiny town, 1,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah, and we didn't even have a point of reference for it.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So like you can look back and be like, oh, I think so and so probably was gay.
Right.
But you're like, at the time it was like it wasn't even in our vocabulary.
Right.
Yeah.
So being on the other side of it and knowing like these people wouldn't even know what to, A, they would be really upset, and B, they wouldn't even, it would be so unexpected.
Right.
Well,
I
you have
can
to know
imagine that.
resources for it.
Yeah.
Right.
And no one to talk to about it, probably, and
No.
it's probably really scary.
I was mostly terrified of it coming out and my parents hearing about it from someone else.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh God, don't let that happen. Don't let that happen until at least I'm out of here.
See, my parents find out everything about me from watching the show,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
which they do religiously every week.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
Aaron.
that's what. Whenever we talk about one of our family members, especially our mom, like talking about my mom, the way she tells secrets.
Yeah.
If I was to do that on our podcast or on GMM, then I would get a text or a phone call.
What, you mean she's not going to watch this?
Probably won't.
Yeah, she probably will. If
What's
I
her
tell
Twitter handle?
Do your parents watch all of, like, does your mom watch most of the stuff that you guys put up?
I mean, GMM there's 1,500 episodes.
I was gonna say, there's so
to this
much of it,
point.
that's probably all
so
she would
it's
watch.
Like, it's tougher to keep up with everything. She watches very regularly, and then she's like, and I tell your daddy, I kind of tell him what's going on. So like, he hears about things through her, like, of course they're 70-something years old, so they're like in opposite rooms watching different televisions at this point. That's the dream, to be in your own television. So my dad is watching sports in the living room, and she's watching GMM in the bedroom, and then she's like, he just said this thing, and I'm going to tell you what it is. And so then when he talks to me, he's like, your mom told me about the thing, but I didn't watch it. She just told me about it.
Straight up. Honesty is the best.
That's
Yeah.
good enough.
Why not?
Do you feel like if you went back now to that point where you were kind of you didn't want to be found out, or the point that you were talking about, I don't know if that was high school, middle school, what it was, but
Yeah, probably middle school, high school.
I don't know if you have a way to gauge it, but I'm just curious if it was now and you were middle school or high schooler, do you feel like it would be different? Do you
Oh,
feel like things
100%.
have changed
Oh, 100%.
enough?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's shows, there's content,
Yeah.
there's YouTubers, there's all sorts of things that people I think now can look up to.
It's not just Ellen.
It's not just Ellen, right?
Yeah,
It's not
right.
just
'Cause
Ellen.
you remember how that,
And she wasn't out for a while, even doing her
She came
show,
out
right?
in the 90s.
Her sitcom.
but the
on her
sitcom was
sitcom.
such a big deal at
Right.
the time.
Yeah.
And I mean,
know.
even when that happened, that was years before. I mean, I was a child when
Yeah.
that
Right.
Yeah,
Well, I'm sure also a
Right.
big part of it is knowing how the people in your life reacted to it.
Right.
And having that knowledge going back into
Yeah.
it probably is
Yeah.
huge
Oh,
weight
for
off
sure.
your shoulder knowing.
For sure. But yeah, I think times are so different now. I mean, I wish I had been no, I don't wish I could be 12, 13 at this time because I'm glad to be an adult now. But
True
I just
that.
think, times have changed so much that it'd be so different.
Yeah.
It's also cool to be part. I mean, what you're doing, even in this conversation, and what you guys do is shaping that change so that middle schoolers now don't experience what
right.
you experience,
Yeah,
which
for
is
sure.
really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be in this position and be able to do that. So.
Yeah, at every RTX now, Patrick, who I don't know if he's still here, but he started, we have like a huge RTX like LGBT employees panel, and it fills up every year. Like
Yeah.
people come and watch it, and we're just like, holy shit, there's so many of it we could take over.
It's also like your heart is so full being in that room.
Oh yeah.
Just like the love that you feel
yeah.
in that room, and just like how everyone is like, these are my people.
Right.
Like I finally have people who are like me that I could relate to, who are in this community
Yeah.
and are in this room together celebrating this thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's beautiful.
That's great.
Well, you know what else Meryl loves besides women?
Good transition.
Third Love.
Bras.
Third Love uses data points generated by millions of women who have taken their Fit Finder quiz to design bras with breast size and shape in mind for a perfect fit and premium feel, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I'm all about.
With Third Love's Fit Finder quiz, you answer a few simple questions to find your perfect fit in 60 seconds. Over 12 million women have taken the quiz to date. It's actually fun and takes less than a minute to complete. Did you know that breast shape matters when finding a good fit? Well, now you do. Every customer has 60 days to wear, wash, and put their bras to the test, and if you don't love it, return it, and Third Love will wash it and donate it to a woman in need. Wonderful. Their team is expert fit stylists, and they're dedicated to helping you find your perfect fit. Returns and exchanges are free and easy. Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone, so right now they are offering our viewers 15% off your first order. So just go to thirdlove.com/always now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/always for 15% off today. Thank you, Third Love.
Third Love.
You're wearing Third Love right now.
How'd you know?
Because you told me.
No, I didn't. You got X-ray eyes.
I could tell.
Because of the perfect fit and feel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They look great.
Thanks, Barbara.
All right, so our last segment of the day is we like to get questions from the people who watch the show, our lovely audience. Sometimes they are a form of a box of issues question. This is a new box that we got from our friend KT. She
Nice.
stitched it and sent us a
Whoa.
couple
Also made
other
us these
goodies.
coasters.
Little coasters we're using today. But today we're going to take a question from our hotline where we have people call in and leave a
Hotline?
question.
What?
So if we could get that hotline question for our friends.
Hi, my name is Amy, and I'm 19. So recently, my best friend of almost 12 years and I have had a falling out. She recently texted me saying it's because every time I talk to her, I'm too negative and that she can't be around that. She's been going to college and has a great job and is super happy, and I've been really depressed because I'm not at school. I don't have a job because I have a disability, and that makes it difficult to sit or stand for long periods of time, and I have social anxiety. I'm going to start seeing a therapist, and my doctor is going to start helping me with my pain management, but I feel bad because I don't want her to have to hear only negatives from me, but she's my best friend, and she's always my go-to for advice. So I was just wondering your opinion on the situation and how you think I should handle it. Thank you.
What's her first name again?
I think Amy.
Amy.
I think, apologize if we got that wrong, but I believe it was
I
Amy.
believe it.
19-year-old Amy.
Yeah, been friends for 12 years.
Yeah, I guess I'll talk to Amy.
Right?
Amy, I'm sorry that you have to experience this. This sucks that you have to, that you're in this situation where you have these obstacles that you're trying to overcome, and it sounds like I'll talk to you guys now. It sounds like she's trying to overcome those obstacles. She mentioned therapy and even just being honest about the way that she feels about what's happened.
Yeah.
And being forthcoming enough to share that with us, I think is huge. That's a big deal to be able to say that in your own voice and be okay with that being on the internet. I think
100%.
that's absolutely huge and a big step. So those are two big steps between that and therapy. We're not therapists. We can't give the most sound advice, but I think the first thing is just saying, I feel for you in your situation, and it must be very difficult. And I'm sorry that you have to go through this, but you can, and there is a path forward, and there's a path through it, and I think it can include repairing your friendship and it continuing to be vital and an important part of both of your lives.
For friendship, any relationships really, not just friendships, it's always a two-way street. And I understand where she's coming from, where she's obviously had a lot to deal with, and I'm sorry as well, Amy, that's a terrible situation to be in. But relationships have to be a give and a take. So while you are expressing yourself to your friend and being negative a lot of the time, sometimes your friend might want to be negative or confide in you or get advice from you. And it has to be a balance of both help but also asking for help. So I'm explaining this in a weird way, but if you're always the person who's going to them to complain or to be sad about something, they probably feel that they can't do that to you as well and put their problems on you and burden you with their problems because they already know you're in a very fragile state. And sometimes people need that in friendships, and they need to be able to open up to you in that way. And I could see where your friend's coming from and maybe wanting to share that experience with you and be there for you, but also know that you could be there for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be where it's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I would say that obviously communication is key. I mean, you have to, so it sounds like you've already talked to your friend about this, but keep trying that. Don't stop communicating. But yeah, I do think that what I hear is what Barbara's hearing is that if somebody says that they're complaining about your negativity, what that probably means is that they have something they need to unload, and they don't feel like they can because they feel like they're being suffocated. And that may or may not be true, but one of the ways to kind of break that might be to reach out, and the focus being on them and what are they going through? Is there anything they need to talk about? Is there anything that they're going through that they need help with or perspective on? And just limiting it to that, and just seeing if you get any and be like, oh, this person is now interested in what I'm struggling with as well, and it might open something up.
For sure.
Yeah. I have one of my best friends. Every time we talk on the phone a lot, and every time we talk and we have something to complain about or something's going on, it always kind of starts off with a question that's basically like, do you have the mental capacity to take this on right now? Because I'm about to dump on you, and in turn you can dump on me, but I need to know that up front.
Just give her that shot from the beginning of the show.
There you go. Yeah, here's a little dump.
Ready to go.
But yeah, and I think it's also maybe you could take a shot at, instead of focusing on all of the things that are going not so well, which I know could be hard because I'm definitely a person who tends to do that. Celebrating the small things that might have happened in your day, that, which could be, they don't have to be huge things. You're like, got out of bed today, brushed my teeth today. I did a thing. I managed to
took a shower.
Yeah, I managed
washed my body.
Take care of myself today. And I think celebrating smaller things and taking note of those can help a lot because you're not so focused on all the things that tend to weigh you down.
It could be, and this is going to sound worse than it actually is, but it could be somewhat exhausting to have a relationship where all you do is unload your pain and negativity onto someone for that person.
Yeah.
And while that person wants to be a good friend and wants to be there for you, you have to realize that is very difficult for someone to take on. It's the same way where there's a relationship where someone is experiencing a mental health issue as well, whether it's depression or anxiety. The other person has to be that rock for that person, and that could be very challenging.
Yeah.
And so I think, as Meryl said, and as you guys all said, like being there for each other, but also having those moments where you could celebrate the good stuff and like let her dump on you sometimes, and maybe have like a schedule where it's like, all right, tonight I'm going to call you and we're going to go over like all the stuff that's bothering me. But tomorrow night when we talk, I want to hear about like all your stuff going on.
And I think, we're huge fans of therapy and have benefited from that. And so I'm encouraged to hear that she said preemptively, I'm already pursuing that.
Absolutely.
And, that is a great way to have a guide through this situation.
And that might help our friendship too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, the friend deserves credit for being honest. I don't know the specifics of how it was communicated, but the fact that instead of, a lot of times friendships crumble because things are left unsaid,
Yep.
which is really sad.
Yeah, very.
When if you can just say something, even if it comes out sideways. I mean, I say a lot of things that come out sideways, but I hope that I've developed relationships with the people that are hearing it, and that they believe the best in me, and that we can get through it. And it's not just about the specifics of the words, but the fact that the friend said, was honest about, his or her experience.
Yeah, they're not just ignoring her or
Right.
or
It's-
writing her off.
It's not.
Ghosting.
It may have sounded like a closing off, but ironically, it may be an opening of a way forward.
Yeah.
And I think a therapist can help, like I said, help guide the restoration of that friendship.
It'll probably also help a lot because that friend was probably starting to feel like a therapist.
Yeah.
So it was, she was always going to her, I assume her or him, with a problem. And now that they have a therapist and are taking care of themselves in that capacity, that might offload some of that energy on that friend to be able to do that in therapy, and then just be able to connect in different ways.
Right.
Right.
Whew,
Woof.
good advice. Therapy is always great.
Oh, yeah. We preach that a lot on this show.
Yeah.
Did you have a spill over there?
No, I'm just a fidgeter, and so I rip up things.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's healthy.
I fidget too.
Yeah, it is.
Do you guys ever have yeah, I'm sure you've had to learn how to communicate really, really well with each other through your many, many
Yeah, because
years
it's
of doing.
that's how many years for you guys? They said 12 years for this.
30,
years so far.
35 years of friendship.
Wow.
I guess it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
That's plenty, I guess. Yeah.
Time to end it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and just, and I think that it's one thing to be friends. It's another thing to work together.
Right.
Like, with rare exception, I mean, every single day that most people go to a job, we go into the same. Like, we've always had one office. We've always
One
had
room.
desks
Is our
that
shared
are
office.
next to each other, and we're constantly. I mean, we do things independently as well, but the vast majority of the day we're together. We're in conversation, and because we're creatively collaborating, we annoy each other. We have a part of our creative process is the strengths that we each bring, which can be. They're very complementary, but the process is kind of like sometimes it
Yeah.
could be difficult, and so there are definitely times where we have to like stop and then address the relationship in order to continue to do what we do well and continue to have a friendship.
Communication.
So I think that, we've sometimes we can like hang out with another, like two friends, and you can kind of see that like, oh, they don't ever talk to each other about their relationship, or two people who work together, and then there's lots of times we've known those people, we've had conversations with them, and then like a couple years pass and they're not working together anymore. And I think that that's just two like, whether it's a band, it's like people end up hating each other when they work together, and I just think that that's the natural evolution of a friendship, unless you're constantly addressing it and working on it.
Yeah.
You got to be proactive. There's an entropy, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you have.
Are you saying there's an entropy for all friendships to degrade?
No, I think it works.
That's an
I think it works. I think marriages work the same way. I think that
Any relationship.
people are assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so,
Some more than others.
and I think that people are. You naturally sort of gravitate towards satisfying your own needs and addressing your own interests, and you just. And then you're 35 years. We've been through a lot of changes, like personality-wise.
Beards.
Yeah, my beard has changed me as a person, giving me a chin, giving me a bottom half of my face, giving me a soul.
Giving you a chance.
Yeah.
Giving me a chance. And as those changes happen, you kind of have to check in
Yeah.
Yeah.
with each other.
Every relationship is work.
Yeah.
Every relationship is work. And people who think it's not, you're in for not a great surprise.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's a dynamic with us that's like there's the friendship dynamic, but there's the brother dynamic that no matter what happens, we're we're in this together. And then there's also the old married couple dynamic that, yes, we are begrudgingly in this together, and we annoy each other, and then you can find comedy in all that, which is kind of a fun byproduct of the whole thing. And I think it, you know, everything about our on-camera chemistry, I think it's a fascinating psychology of how it works. We work on those levels. You know, we make fun of each other, we give each other a hard time, but we love each other.
Beautiful.
We do.
And we love you guys too.
Oh, really? You want in on this?
And we thank
nope,
you.
Not
Yeah.
gonna happen.
And we thank
This is
you
a good
for being
experience, but I just can't. I can't.
It's okay. We understand.
I can't afford it to just get way too complicated.
Rhett and Link and Barbara and Mary.
Yeah,
Too
I think
much to talk about.
there's nothing else we could possibly say. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for
It
having
was a
us.
pleasure. Our premiere episode, new song, new songs.
Yeah.
That-
You know what? I changed my mind. Let's. I'm all in. The four of us.
Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Woo! What's up, YouTube? If you like this episode of Always Open, make sure to give it a like and also subscribe to the Rooster channel. And make sure to check out these other videos below here. It'll make us all very happy. Woo!
Yeah, well.
If our videos are in there, it'll make us happy. Put our videos in there.
Don't put those in there.
Whatever.
You can't avoid them.